right, guys. I don't remember the episode number. It's just Gio, so Jesse will do his thing where he messes with that and, I don't know, puts a number in front of it. Thursday afternoon, we got Chris Kelsey with NashCards with us. We'll definitely release the video because it's actually worth watching today. He's wearing a shirt that the two of us could fit in. And I'd say that beard's comparable to Forrest Gump when he got to like Missouri. Not all the way across country. Maybe Mizzou. Chris wasn't impressed by either one of those jokes, so we'll get right to the questions.
I'm just waiting for my line.
You're doing fantastic. I already think you're doing better than any on-air talent we've had, so I'm proud of you. Chris is an Instagram mogul, obviously. NashCards on Instagram. Opened up an LCS, NashCards.com. I actually just got it. It was good timing. He's a big-time grader with PSA. So, Chris, where do you want to start? Grading? Open up a shop?
Grading's our main thing. The shop has developed from PSA grading. You asked me a year ago if I had a shop in my plans. The answer was no. But you
were adamant about that too. You were having nothing to do with it.
I was pretty adamant. But I think the reason for that, Gio, is that I've always, like a lot of people, picture a shop being that old time carpeted place with those racks of shelves of old wax and starting lineup figures and all that stuff. I knew that wasn't me. But once this PSA sub came through and we realized maybe we'd create this space as more of a PSA center, a grading center on top of offering wax and singles and stuff like that, then it became what happened, what we needed to do.
When's the official date, by the way? I said November 1st. Is that still?
You said November 1st, which is a Sunday, which would be kind of awkward. So we're actually going to do November 2nd as a Monday.
Monday?
Yes. And the reason for that is, the COVID. We don't really want this big grand opening. We kind of want to open the doors and let the traffic just trickle in.
Sure. Hey, where are you at, too? Drop the physical location just so people have an idea.
We're in Mount Juliet. It's kind of on South Mount Juliet Road, right?
Pronounced Mount Juliet. Let me just stop you right there. Real quick. I don't know this Juliet. We're not talking about Shakespeare, homie. Oh, it's Mount Juliet.
Well, I don't even know what I'm saying wrong, but okay.
Good grief. Cool. Say it again, because I literally just stomped all over the address.
We are down past Providence on Mount Juliet. So we're about, 20-minute drive from the Nashville airport. And while our address doesn't say Nashville on the address, we are right there in Nashville. So nice. We will be, a good stop location of Nashville.
All right, so let me get right into this thing with grading. Obviously, I have to imagine the biggest complaint you get is return time. Is that still the biggest thing you hear about from people?
Yes. People complain about it, and I like watching you. I listen to you a lot, Gio, and I like your rants on people complaining about PSA times. And, if money was that easy to be made, if we all got our cards back in 2 days, the market wouldn't be there. People wouldn't give up. Everyone would do it, and we would kind of lose our edge, right? And so I'm all for this delay. I mean, I'm not saying I'm all for delays, but if it was easy, if the worm was easy to get, everyone would get it. So
it would saturate things too. I'll say that the amount of cards held up for the length of time, people don't want to admit this, but I don't know if people want to call it a bubble or agree with that when we say it. There's a bubble effect here going on for sure. If you dumped in thousands of cards every week because PSA was just turning over like crazy, I do think that would mess with values big time.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's lots of reasons, but the Lou Rob is a good example of starting at 500 as a PSA 10, and we're all the way down to 100 on Facebook now. So,
is it $100? That's all he's doing now?
I'm sure eBay's probably 120, 125. I didn't look, but I saw sales on Facebook for 100. So I'm assuming
$500 to $100 in a month. That's only a month old too. I mean, people only got those back a month ago. That's nuts.
And people complain, and you can say that was a bubble, and it was, and it popped. But at the same time, we're still talking about a $20 card that you put $25 into in our 20-day service, and it comes back at 100. Where do I sign? That's how I view it. I mean, this is still better than 2019 grading margins. This is it's the time that you should really, put your foot on the pedal and go for it if that's what you know how to do or you're looking to do.
Yeah, 500% return's rough. I don't know if you've seen my pictures of my stock portfolio. I would settle for like 0.5% recently.
Exactly,
I've been getting I actually don't like Dave. Are you familiar with Dave Portnoy at all? President of Barstool.
I used to watch the pizza things just because
Yeah.
they're so addicting.
Yeah, he's become like real big. He sold out his company to Penn. He's become like I don't know if he's a billionaire yet, but he's close. The dude's probably worth a couple $100 million. He's become this like stock guru and just gets murdered. I feel like my career is following that same path.
Okay.
Lesser numbers, but same amount of kicking in the groin.
But,
so
they say no publicity is bad publicity, right? So
sure, that's why I started posting it. People were like, the guy yesterday was like, "You ever make money on stocks?" I said, "No, I just throw it in there, and at least I get to write it off, which is cute." So, let me ask you this different level again, because we're trying to target this towards obviously avid collectors and people we know in the sports groups already. Okay. That's cool, but also people just walking off the streets. Which me and Chris set up at a show. I say we set up together. He allowed me to be next to him, which was awesome. The amount of people, though, especially in that card show circuit, and I got to think those are some of the same people who will walk into your shop. Grading's not their thing at all. I didn't know in 2020 people still were like super unfamiliar with this. There's a crazy need for it. So just so what are the services? What's the different levels? Talk a little pricing if you can.
We offer to the general public on our site, you can sign up for a bulk level, which is, advertised as 45-day, but we always estimate it to be around 4 to 6 months hand to hand from when you send it to when I get it back to you. That is going to be broken down price rise, as you know, throughout whatever era the card is from. So our ultra modern is now 16 a card. And what's great about our system is that our prices are flat. There's other group servers out there that have little hidden fees or little you pay the PayPal fees after you're done, or
we call that bull crap.
We price it up front. So when I say $16, that's exactly what you pay per card plus the return shipping. Nice. That's our little additive. I'm sorry, return shipping, but that was too hard to do logistics on a flat price, so you have to add it. Sure. But no hidden fees. So this is what you pay per card. So ultra modern is 16. We're at 11 per card on modern, which is the 1972 to the 2016 range, and then the vintage is $10 a card.
So that's for 45-day service, return 4 to 6 months.
45, and then we have the economy.
You hate that service.
Gio, I used to hate that service, and we could talk about, what I do or whatever, but it's coming back. Is it? That price bump has made my math formulas adjust me back to bulk on a lot of stuff.
Really? Because I've always been with you with the 20-day service.
Yeah.
For like an extra, what is it, extra $9?
Right now it's $9 over, yes. It's a 25 for a 20-day and then 16 for the bulk.
What's 20-day average return time, hand to hand?
I tell people just expect around 2 months, and you might get it within a month, and it might be a little bit over 2 months, but 2 months is like a safe.
So anything basketball right now, I'm going 20-day. Season's back in 2 months.
Absolutely. And so my grading strategy right now, 20-day is, as you said, is Prism basketball. It's all Kobe White, Barrett. It's all rookies from current years, and then your Mitchells and your Tatums and your star-studded. Sorry.
Yeah, you saw my collection of Tatums. I was so excited because I'm a stupid homer about the Celtics, dude. I was so loaded up on his crap. I thought they're gonna go to the finals. He's gonna hit like half of Luka prices. I'm gonna be able to buy like a height lift kit so I can walk around rocking 5'10". And then, what a vomit.
He peaked in that first round. It was
like a 16-year-old at prom night, man. Just too early. Dude, he murdered me. Oh, well.
He's still a good grade right now. He's still a good guy. You can find off-brand Tatums for under $5. I go to shows, and that's kind of, you know me, Gio. Everyone was buying Bowman Chrome. I was buying Topps Finest. And it's because, in my opinion, everyone, I don't always search the golden nugget at the end of the road that everyone's looking for, I like to find the hidden treasures. To me, it's a lot easier to go to a show and find a huge margin on a Topps Finest auto than the auto that everyone is chasing.
So just to throw in perspective too, because to me, there's two cards that are insane when it comes to grading. I mean, obviously Bowman Chrome Prospect autos, a PSA 10 compared to raw, you're generally at double the price. I would say across the board, probably if it's a $100 raw auto, PSA 10, you're going to do $225-ish in general. 2 to 2.25 times.
You remember that used to be 1.5?
Always was 1.5. Yeah. So, and I remember when BGS hit 1.5, people were excited. Now, even with like a 9. So I just got, it's actually good timing. So I subbed some cards with Chris a couple weeks ago. I gave him a Jason Dominguez Bowman Chrome base auto, 10-day service. I think the total out the door for the 10-day service because of the value was $50. That card came back a 9 out of 10, which is not great. But even that, a PSA 9 bumps that card like $100 to $150. So I wasn't mad. But the reason I say that is BGS at one point got to 1.5 times, and it was nuts. Then PSA was hitting 2 times. The crazy thing to me is still paper. Topps paper is insane. Louis Robert in particular is $20 raw to 120, 6 times the money.
He's actually down to about 12 to 15 if you look.
So you're talking like 8 to 10 times your money.
And that's all. Those are the cards that I target. It's all math for me. You just target the cards where I look for cards that I can buy for from $1 to $20. I can sub them at a 20-day for $25, and that they're going to sell for triple digits. That is my target zone. And it's funny, and that's only a 2020 format. In 2019, Gio, we were doing the same thing. I was buying cards $1 to $20. We were paying $10 to grade them, and we were hoping they would sell for $60 or $50. So we pretty much 2x'd our market.
Yeah, the PSA 10 now is just such a sick label. I mean, it just I don't know what it is about, because honestly, 9.5s have really not climbed as much as, to me, the pace of a PSA 10 is way outpaced a 9.5 now from Beckett. It's just not even close.
Oh, yeah. And I think, I like all companies. I've used all companies. Obviously, I'm biased towards PSA now. I run a sub through them. But it's also, I do this for money. And I love cards. It started as a hobby. But, at the end of the day, I'm trying to make as much money for my family as I can. And so why would I, when you run the numbers, there's only really one choice for me. And it doesn't mean if you're subbing with BGS, you're wrong. It's just, my math with the quantity of cards I send off and what I'm trying to accomplish, there's no other option besides PSA right now.
Yeah, so basically what you just said, if you sub with BGS, you hate money and profit. I got it. That's smart.
Well, I don't hate that, man. Like, honestly, their slabs do look nice. I do like the durability of them. I do like, if you chase gold labels or black labels, they look pretty awesome.
Yeah, the black, I'll say this, not that I've ever got one. The black label to me is still the most insane looking grade.
It's really cool looking.
It's stupid nice.
Say it's not cool,
right?
Looking.
But the chances of hitting it too are just insane. I don't, if that's what you're chasing, I think most guys are comparing a 9.5 to a PSA 10. A black label just gets insane. Pristines are cool, but same thing. So what's the deal with this shop? What's the shop is mainly for PSA?
Well, we're running our PSA sub out of it, and the problem with the market today, as you could probably verse everyone way more than me, is the wax is unobtainable. So it used to be like, hey, I'm going to open up a shop. I got a brick and mortar. Check out my storefront.
That was the key.
I can get wax.
Yep.
That's been the biggest battle for me as a store is everyone's like, hey, you got a store? Can I get some cases? I'm like, whoa. I don't even have cases. Look at my shelves. I got Pokemon just sitting over there on the shelves. That's all I got.
So we weren't going to talk a ton of Pokemon, but I got to bring this up. Again, we were set up at the show, and I talked Sunday morning. I think I mentioned this when I did it. So I forget the LeBron rookie you had on one side. You had an 8.5 Jordan rookie on the other side, and I don't even know what type of stupid lizard was in the middle.
It was Charizard.
Sure.
1999 Charizard Hollow, not first edition, not shadowless, just your basic 1999 Hollow.
It wasn't graded grade either. It was an 8.
It was PSA 8.
That was $1,000 you got for that card?
Yeah, you know what it's going for now?
Did it jump already?
14 all day.
Really?
Someone posted one for 1,400 in a Pokemon group yesterday on Facebook, and it snapped, and people were like, "Steal." So there, I'm shaking my head. I told you, Gio, I didn't want to sell that card.
You did say so. Logan Paul, I saw, who's like that YouTube. He's a monster on YouTube. And he just bought something for a couple $100,000. Or he ripped. He's the one who ripped the case in 1999.
The case, and then Logic bought the Charizard.
I didn't know Logic was still alive. Talk about somebody who's been living in a dumpster the last couple of years.
I like Logic. I don't know what he's up to. I like his old music. I'm not gonna hate on the kid.
No, it's been a while though. I'm not hating on it. I should know he was still breathing. Good for him.
Well, he's buying Pokemon.
What did he spend? I think with fees, his was like $220 with the auction house fee and everything.
Yeah, $220, something like that. Yeah, for sure. It's crazy.
Yeah, and not only the price, the amount of interest at your table, it wasn't even funny. I said the other day like 5-1. It was more than that. I mean, people literally did not care about Jordan, did
Mhm.
not care about LeBron. We're talking full-grown men, card collectors, guys who try to grind out some money in this hobby, all about Charles. It was insane to me. The other thing I thought was cool, which I think you were cringing at the time, you still have that LeBron?
No,
The
I
top,
sold it that night. I thought you sold that. I saw that.
I did not. So Chris had an 8.5 Jordan rookie, a Jordan rookie BGS 8.5, which right now I think they got up as high as 75 in the midst of Last Dance. They're like a 62 to $6,500 card. Straight trade for a LeBron Topps Chrome 9.5. The fact that a LeBron freaking rookie that is less than 20 years old and that there are 85,000 of out there is on. Not only did you trade for it, you going to tell us what you sold it for? Is this?
I posted it on my Instagram, which is pretty much known for selling things rather quickly.
Yeah, you snap off there.
I posted it on my Instagram before he won and clinched for $7,100, and it sold within probably a half hour.
Sheesh. That is still, and I know you were cringing handing it over because it doesn't make sense.
Gio was to my right. I turned to him, and I knew I'm a dealer. I'm a money guy. I mean, I'm not a
Sure.
money grab. I like cards, but I was telling you, said if I'm a collector, there's no way that I trade this Jordan right here for this LeBron right here.
Yep.
But you know, Gio, that I'm going to go home and sell this for $7,000, and I can't sell this Jordan for $7,000. Everyone's going to get me down to 62.
Stupid. That is insane to me. I just don't. So I was telling you before we jumped on live, I actually I hate trading too, especially over Facebook. I always, and I'm guilty of it too. If I'm going to trade you, my card's worth more than it really is. The stuff you want to give me is worth more. So I had a 2005 Sweet Shots LeBron auto. So it's the one with the piece of the basketball. He signed the leather. Clean auto, PSA 10. It did 4,200 like a month, 2 months ago now. So I figured maybe 46, like a 10% bump, because strangely his stuff didn't spike. The first time I've ever seen a superstar who people literally hate so much they don't support his hobby jump when he wins a championship.
How about Mahomes, though? I mean, that was weird. We'll say that happened.
Mahomes is insane. That guy is literally going to be the next.
No, I'm saying he won the Super Bowl and his cards almost went down, and then 2 or 3 months later they went through the roof. But there was a 2-month flood of a market there.
Which is weird. I think that was just market flood related. Because I mean, he has no negative off field.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack your thought.
No, this is what you're here for. Good for you. I'm glad to see a pulse. Good for you. Just throw it in there when you want.
Well, I see you abuse Jesse so much on the show, and him just sit there like he's injured sometimes.
Dude, I gotta get Jesse to the point where he is himself on here. That dude is literally. So first of all, he's the size of Chris Farley, and he's legitimately funnier than Chris Farley. Dude, Jesse is the funniest dude I know. He's my wife's cousin. He's like 6'4", 6'5". We rented a convertible a few months ago. His head
doesn't fit.
His head was over he had his chin resting on the top of the windshield. I was like standing up in my seat, barely at the windshield. Like it was.
Yeah, right.
The dude is just hilarious. I rip on him all the time. He's a good sport.
Yeah, me and you have to go toe to toe sometime because I think.
I know. I heard your stats. I heard your stat line.
I don't know.
Here's what's misleading. I got the width. If you had these shoulders,
you have definitely. I mean, we might have been close back in the day, but you have definitely taken this upper body and.
I'm retired, man. I'm trying to just bulk up.
I don't know what you do, what you're pounding over there.
Monsters, nothing but monsters.
Up there. You're always talking about pre-workout. I don't know what you're lifting in that gym. But
I actually. So this is like my 9th day of keto. Dude, even my wife was like, it's like, I'm happy you're losing weight and like you look better. She's about done with me. I am so angry, more than normal. I'm ready to murder somebody for a loaf of bread. So it's not good.
I would never do that. And I feel like I'm losing weight in this shirt. Like
I was gonna say, I'm just gonna start doing your motto. Just put on a triple XL.
Shirts like that the big kid wears, and he's always just fluffing it out so you can't see his belly.
And they swim with that. That kid's not taking his shirt off at the pool. That dude's in the pool with the large Nash. Yep, that's good. And if he ever gets stranded at sea, it's just an inflatable. It's a float.
You don't want to see these movies, man. Like that's me all
okay. Some people might, dude. There's a large audience here. We were talking about the trade. I was excited. I never trade, but your trade motivated me the other day because I would never trade a single LeBron that's worth $4,500 for other stuff. But I've been on here ranting and railing about buying Ja, buying Luka. We put a poll up on the Facebook group too. Best buys right now. Morant's running away with it because I think he is. But I got a Luka rookie select silver PSA 10. Those peaked out at like $5,000 when he was going nuts against the Clippers. And then I got a BGS 9.5 Prism rookie, which topped out at like 11-ish.
Okay.
And then I got $500 cash, which I almost felt bad about taking the cash, but I didn't because the dude who I got it from makes a ton of money and has a bunch of big cards. So I'll be curious. I'm going to start
watching. Say hi.
I don't think he's well. Maybe he is. You never know. Yeah, he's like, well, I haven't shipped the cards yet, so maybe he's going back on this trade.
You placed me, a jerk.
Yeah, so I will be interested to see. I am super high on Morant stuff, though. I really am. And then the rumors today, too, which is getting stupid. Miami and Dallas frontrunners for Giannis. I mean, that guy's just going to be – if he goes to anywhere with some buzz, they're not only the instant frontrunners, this stuff's going to get nuts. So I'll be interested to see. I don't want to talk sports, though. You admittedly hate sports talk.
I hate sports debate, Gio. I think
fine.
It's nonsense. It reminds me of politics. Honestly, have you ever heard two people bicker about who's better, the Cowboys or the Eagles? And one guy go, "Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right." Jerry.
It is. It's a LeBron Jordan debate. It's the same thing.
It's the same. Oh my!
No one's switching. No one's changing sides.
It's your dad Republican talking to your Californian whatever
lefty mom. It's no good.
No one's winning. No one's losing. It's just going to be ramble jamble, and I don't do it. So
I have been on my high horse, though. I literally, my favorite thing to do now is just find things to pick out about Jordan that weren't great, just to aggravate people. So it's going to be a requirement. You're the last person on here who's not. I'm gonna from now on, without any show prep, without any interview prep. That's going to be my first question to anybody else who guests on the show. Name one thing that Jordan was terrible at, or that's a knock on Jordan as being the GOAT.
Can I start that game?
We're not allowed to debate.
Being a human being is my number one with Jordan. I hate Jordan. And I'm like, people I don't know if you knew about me, but I'm known in sports circles, some of them, for despising Michael Jordan.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that about you.
I do not like the man in one bit. I don't know why we
Your dimples are really accentuated. You're upset. Are you clenching under that beard?
No, they're just
nice. You're not happy with Jordan. I didn't know this.
When I was a kid, I could I still can. I could put Skittles or small objects and hold them with my dimple.
I feel like this has digressed a little bit.
This went in a different direction than I thought.
I did not know. Okay, so let me ask you this then. We got to do a quick sports sec. Just 45 seconds. Humor me.
Cut that one out. Okay.
Still, no, that's staying. Jesse, don't touch it. All-time greatest basketball player in your opinion? Are you still a Jordan guy in that department despite the hate? You're not. Interesting. Is there a clear number one for you? You have a grouping up top? Now I need to hear it. Normally I don't care, but
I don't want.
He's bracing himself. He's bracing himself in the chair. I like this.
I don't like Jordan, so it comes down to a personality thing. And my thing is like, while LeBron's not the greatest guy in the world, and I don't like him either.
Good dude off the court.
The way I look is I used to play basketball, Gio, and I played varsity. I'm not gonna be like I played anything of significance, but I played a little bit competitively. And I hated playing with Jordans, and I loved playing with LeBrons. So as a player, I'm like, why would you want to play with that guy? And Kobe's the same way. Like,
sure.
Oh my God, it would just frustrate me. I worked my whole life to be so good, and then I just watch this guy dribble the ball.
So you're telling me the hatred is so strong you cannot put him on the rush. You can't put him up top.
I can't put him above LeBron.
Interesting.
I can't because
that's fine with me.
I'm not saying LeBron's better. It's just I think everyone loves nostalgia. So it's just like in baseball. Babe Ruth will always be the best of all time.
Right.
Until our kids get old and they're like, Babe who?
Right.
That shift won't happen. It doesn't matter what stats you put up.
Yeah, and Jordan also benefited from, like we talked about this recently too. Jordan and Kobe have literally just become better in the last couple months. People watched The Last Dance, and Jordan was all of a sudden greater than he was, and Kobe tragically died, and all of a sudden Kobe's. Let's be real. 6 months ago, Kobe was never in the discussion above LeBron. It just didn't happen. And now, there's like this nostalgia. I'm not saying Kobe wasn't great, and if I need to close out a game, that's fine. I've always said if I got to close out a game, give me Jordan, Kobe, or my hamstrings back here. I'll take any one of those three to close out a series. But overall, it was never a discussion. The baseball thing is weird too. Like you said, Ruth. That's so weird to me too. It's like he's playing against such a.
Gio, the dude hit fastballs for a living.
Yeah, and again, playing against a diminished field, it's not an integrated league. I mean,
I'm not
greatest of his era, no problem.
Yeah, way above his time, but the dude hit fastballs for a living. How do we compare that to someone that's out there hitting what they're hitting today? It's just, to me, I just think it's a funny
fastballs against all white pitchers too, because again, other races were not allowed to play there.
Allowed to pitch against them.
I mean, that's a tough. If Bob Gibson steps on the mound, dude doesn't have 700 home runs. Maybe a little bit later, obviously, but whatever. So let me ask you one last question then. I know you are just a bulk guy. You're going out and buying the $1 to $20 cards. I don't think you're all that particular when you're buying. Anybody that actually excites you right now? Anything you're looking at the market?
I do have some cards that are worth more than $1 to $20.
No. I mean,
do other stuff.
No. I've seen your collection. I've seen that. I just mean when you're going to make money in general, you're looking for the smaller stuff that multiplies with PSA.
Again, going back on that, I do that because it's easier.
Sure.
I mean, I go to a show. You know what they're like at that show down in Nashville. If you don't get there at 5 a.m, you're not getting any raw Lucas in that building. Yeah. So the problem is, like, I'm not going to wake up at 5. I go there at 9 o'clock.
You barely woke up at 7. Yeah, I was going to say.
Great.
So any names, any specific brands, names, whatever that you are looking at right now saying, that PSA 10, for some reason, there's a creepy difference from raw to graded. Anything you're specifically chasing?
2019 Prism basketball. There is nothing better to mess with than 2019 Prism basketball. We're in an era where people are still selling their raw RJ Barretts for $20 or less.
What's a PSA 10 rolling now?
175 plus. It makes no sense. I mean, just sell me all of them. And when I 9 them, I'm going to send them to, my consignor there, and he's going to get me 85% eBay, which is already over raw anyway. So
there's a bump from 9 to raw with Prism too. I know you're huge on the Prism train.
Absolutely.
Really?
I'm talking Kobe. I don't know him off my head because I've been consigning them lately and I don't even look. But I'm talking $50 to $75 for a PSA 9 of those guys that you're buying for $15 to $20 as a raw.
Oh, you're tripling your money on a 9.
Well, you got fees and taxes and grading.
So here's what we're doing. Here's what I'm hearing from you. We're grabbing a case. I'm going distro today. We're getting a case of 19 Prism Hobby halvesies.
Do I get it at your price? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, you get it at my price. I think I can get them for like $18,000 right now.
Okay.
We're grading everything under the sun, and we're good. We're good. I'll tell you right now, dude, Prism football is going to be the same. This is the first year I've ever talked about football, anything. Prism football this year is going to be absolutely insane.
It's already, people are telling me the guys that quick graded the Burrows mosaics.
Yep.
I've heard the multiplier has been at like 20x plus. I don't know, just crazy. We're talking $100 raw card,
$1,500, $2,000 card.
Yeah, like stupid. And that's going to go down. That's that Lou Rob effect, right?
Sure.
That's that first PSA 10 to the market.
So what does it settle at? 6, 7 times though? Who cares?
It's hard to say because, when that Prism comes out and people don't care about Mosaic as much. Right now, you just want Mosaic because it's their only pro uni. That's not garbage. True. That's not a garbage product. That's Prism, Panini. So.
Yeah, football's a little bit more difficult. Baseball, everything's like a grade and send base in. Football's obviously a lot tougher. But Prism, I just feel, especially the other guy who I just think we haven't seen anywhere near the top is Justin Herbert. The kid is 1-4, and his prices are already this high. He's gonna start that team's pretty good. They're gonna win games. I heard you
talking about that today. I'm a little skeptical, to be honest.
I just think he can't do anything but go up. I mean, I don't think his play is gonna drop off.
I don't think it's record based. I think everyone's looking for a hype boy or a hype player to put their money into, and no one cares about his record. Everyone sees the ESPN highlights of him throwing touchdowns against. He was going touchdown for touchdown with Tom Brady, and it was all over ESPN.
Okay. Let's not go crazy. He went with Mahomes and Drew Brees. He did not go toe to toe with Brady.
If you want to know what I do, I don't touch guys like that as much because the market is too volatile. I mean, I agree with you. It could go up and whatever. I could be absolutely wrong. But when I can go buy a guy that's already low and it's still going to get that same multiplier and that low can't go lower.
Way safer price. Yeah. Because his floor right now is way below what he's at. No question.
That's the best way. Fantasy talk. His floor. He's got a high floor.
You hate sports debate. I hate fantasy. Anything.
Oh, I love fantasy.
Oh,
gosh, makes me want to. Why we hang out sometimes?
It makes me want to take that mini bat and shove it down my throat. Yeah. The other guy who's going to light the world on fire with Prism because I think it's gonna. Actually, I think Tua is going to debut right around the time Prism pops. I do. I'm so stupid giddy over Prism. I can't even talk. So.
Aren't they playing well though? I mean, isn't Fitzy doing pretty dang well?
Fitzy's been okay. The team's playing well, but at some point, I mean, you waste a second or third round, or third overall pick. I mean, yeah, and I do. The Mosaic thing scares me. I'm never big into Mosaic until 6 months after release. I want to see how bad Prism crushes it. And then football, too, was the weird one because in football, unlike baseball or basketball, people savagely chase the RPAs, right? Like NTRPA is bigger than anything else in football this year, whereas Prism is bigger than anything else than basketball. So it's a weird little thing.
I'm curious to see the shift on that, though, because
you think it's definitely going to start moving.
You know, like Gio, how many people come in here talking about RPAs? No one, but everyone comes in here and talks to me about Prism and grading and whatnot.
Well, because the grading thing is the difference.
It's we've talked about football never meant anything, and now it does, right? And position players are always don't buy, and now you're looking at Josh Jacobs and other random running backs just selling for crazy money.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's definitely a shift of the sneakerheads or whoever you want to say are coming in. And do those guys care about RPAs or do they care about these Prism shiny cards? I mean, I don't know yet, but I could see a shift.
Well, here's the other thing, too. You can open a box of Prism and hit nothing worth more than 50. I mean, I don't know what the Burrow base rookie is going to do raw, say $75. You can open a box. Again, it's going to cost you $1,000 or $1,100, seemingly get nothing. And then 42 days later, once you send your cards to NashCards and Chris over there and he works his magic, you can literally think you got murdered and end up breaking even if not making money. NT is immediate. I'll tell you right now, I don't care what.
Immediate. I like that.
Either way, either you've hit an awesome RP and you made money, or you hit nothing and you could grade it 58 times and you still made nothing.
That's actually an amazing point. And that's almost like I started as baseball only. You remember that? And I bought Bowman Chrome, and Bowman Chrome was that same way. Bowman Chrome was the product that you buy for an $80, $90 hobby box. You hit garbage, and you're like, that box sucked. You throw it in the closet, and then 3 years later, Juan Soto's second year Chromes are doing 200 as a PSA 10. You go digging through that box, and you have,
just stupid money. It is weird. So let me ask you this. We'll wrap it up. I told you it'd be 10 minutes. It's been 32, so thanks for your patience. Basketball, is that your biggest buy right now? I mean, is that your biggest chase?
Absolutely.
Specifically Prism.
As a baseball fan to heart, I've been disinterested this year. I haven't cared. If I haven't cared that much, what is the average fan doing?
I'm with you. Not only about the hobby, I haven't cared about watching it either. We're a week away from the World Series.
I watched my Yankees play, and I'm sorry, I grew up in New York. I watched the Yankees play. But other than that, I didn't.
Cut that, Jesse.
Oh, my God.
Cut it.
Cut it.
Yeah. And I'll tell you the only guy who has actually caught my attention is this Randy. I just call him Randy Arizona because I can't pronounce his last name. Randy, at whatever the dude's name is. So his RPAs out of baseball, which are almost all non-licensed, I'm talking like immaculate, different products like that, hundreds of dollars now. That was literally, we pulled his logo patch auto with the Cardinals because that's who a lot of his rookie stuff was with. I'm talking a full freaking bird on this card, $50. A month later, $500, $600, $700. That kid is just. I'm almost rooting for the Rays now. Financially, I want the Dodgers to win because I have a bunch of stuff. But
that kid is the exact reason why I don't sell garbage rookies for 25 cents.
There's no reason.
I put them in a box.
Yep.
Until they get to 2017. 2017 they're a little outdated, so they're too old. But all current rookies go in boxes, and. I was telling PJ over here that we were looking. I'm pretty sure I hit a top chrome auto of his. I can't find that box of when I was ripping that retail, but I think I got an auto somewhere in the shop, and I'm gonna.
I don't even know when he came out. What year was he?
He's 2020 Topps Chrome in a St. Louis uniform as an autograph. I'm pretty sure I hit that auto. It's like $1 auto.
Does he even have a Bowman auto? Talk about being prepared. I have no idea.
I don't think he does.
Yeah, so that's another weird dude. Maybe they'll pop him in 2020 Bowman. They'll need 2021 Bowman. They'll need something. So we'll throw out one last plug for us. I'll let you go. I appreciate the time. Instagram, card show. What are we talking here? Is it just at NashCards?
At NashCards is the Instagram. That's what I've been from almost day one.
Nice.
As you mentioned before, we've worked our way up to 14,000 followers. We're over that. We're going to hit 15,000 probably by the end of the month.
Let me stop you right there just for a second. Sometimes people hear these numbers on Instagram. I've talked to some other dudes there who have bigger numbers. Chris says that because again, I think with
they're fake numbers. My numbers are real numbers.
Dude, Chris's, just go on there and try to buy a card and have fun with it. I've never seen crap snap off like that. So the 14,000 is we'll call it 14,000 strong.
People hate this word, and I do too, but people like to say my account was grown organically, right? Like, I never did this pump scheme where non-card collectors came and followed me, and I have like 20, 30,000 followers. I have 14,000 buyers ready.
How long you been on Instagram?
Right when I moved to Nashville, a little bit after that. So we're going to say maybe 4 years.
That's pretty early on for sports cards on Insta.
I didn't have a Facebook. Instagram was my card outlet. So I learned the ins and outs from 12-year-olds, and it's, hey.
Yeah, we signed up for TikTok yesterday because
I heard that.
Dude,
I was like, I haven't taken that one.
Here, don't take the. Let me just tell you right now. So on Facebook, you go through your home, you just scroll through your home feed. It's just people you know.
Yeah.
You go to the home scroll on TikTok. I literally am just like, this is a pedophile's dream. It is just there's just a bunch of kids dancing to stupid songs, and they snap their fingers and they got unicorn wings or something. I just don't.
They contacted me when they were launching. Now, I'm sure they contacted anyone with 10,000 followers or more, or whatever it was at that point. But it was like, would you like to bring your platform over? You get a free. And I was like, how does posting sports cards relate to these snappy
I'd rather
movies?
get run over by a gravel truck. It's just so weird. Anytime I'm scrolling through a home feed and I have to be careful that my wife is going to see it because it's just weird, I just have no. Again, I know.
Like cuties, right? No.
I'm just like, even that. I don't need to see some 16-year-old wearing like short. I just have no. I just don't know. Stop dancing and go get a job. What are you doing?
You sound
Nothing.
So old.
I literally, I feel like if we just dug way into TikTok and went nuts with it, we have 10,000 listeners faster than anywhere else. And I would literally rather be bludgeoned to death and have an unsuccessful, failing podcast like it is right now, where I am literally just dumping money and making nothing back. I just can't. Oh, that site. There you go. That was my little. That site is just full of just a conglomeration of pukes. That's all it is.
I'm right there with you. You know.
Anyways,
I try to stay away from that stuff too. I mean, I've had really hard times getting over to Twitter, and that's been around since a long time. I just can't do it.
Yep.
And then the hashtag thing, like everyone tells me, even some on my team were telling me, hey, we can grow our audience by using hashtags. And I was like, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not saying it's bad, but I don't want to be like,
it's not for you.
Cards. Hashtag P is, you know? Like,
sure. Hey, it works for some people. I just can't. I mean, we're trying to make a push of this thing. You know, YouTube is where we've tried to really – the video aspect of things is kind of neat. Like, people actually like seeing the video, and, like, Jesse's going to mess around with live graphics and things. That's cool. I get that. But to me, put out good content and don't be totally boring. You know, there's other guys, too. Even grading talk. I saw some guys on Facebook talking grading lately, and after about 3 minutes, I was like, all right, just all I need to know from somebody with a personality of my grandmother is the price and the return time. Nothing interesting else to say. I don't need to talk to you about it. Just you know, send me an email and leave me alone. So you did well. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I can sit here and talk grading with you all day too. So I'm that guy. I'm that boring drip.
You got a little personality and you have facial hair, so you're okay.
I cover my boring personality.
Also, we got a shout out on Instagram from you. I was pretty excited about that, sir. A mention, a shout out. I don't know what it's called, but either way.
You know, I get messages once a day. I'm not even like once a day about someone telling me to promote their thing on my feed. So
I message you like 80 times a day about that.
I'm just like, you made it.
I'm in rare air. That's what you're telling me.
Just kidding. I appreciate you having me on your show. I think your podcast is great. I watch it. PJ listens. We're fans, man. We like it.
Well, there you go. 2 of the 10 fans right there, baby.
Hey, put us up there. Build us a statue.
It's not going to be very tall. Me, you, and PJ. Just three little people.
Put us on a mountain.
Rushmore. I'll Rushmore this thing right now. Hey, Chris, appreciate the time, brother. We'll catch you later.
Check you out later.